All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into what might literally be the ultimate recycling story in the entire energy world. You know, when we generate electricity, we usually just accept that a massive amount of energy is going to escape as wasted heat. But what if we could put that waste to work? Well, today we are exploring the absolutely ingenious Combined Cycle Power Plant, or CCPP for short. It's a system that fundamentally changes the math on power generation, giving us a highly efficient, much more environmentally friendly way to light up our cities.
So here's the million-dollar question for modern engineering. How exactly do we get more power without burning more fuel? We're going to solve this efficiency mystery by exploring how a single plant manages to get what is basically a buy one, get one free deal on energy. Instead of just shrugging and letting hot exhaust gases billow out of a smokestack into the sky, engineers figured out a way to trap that escaping energy. It is just such an elegant solution to a really massive industrial problem.
Just look at this number, 64%. To put that into perspective, this is an absolute game changer compared to traditional power generation. I mean, conventional plants often lose well over half of the energy potential of their fuel. Hitting 64% means we are squeezing significantly more usable electricity out of the exact same amount of natural gas or diesel. That dramatically lowers fuel consumption and, crucially, reduces carbon dioxide emission.
So what exactly is a combined cycle power plant? The secret is right there in the name. It's a thermal power plant that recovers waste heat from a gas turbine to produce steam, which then drives a second, entirely separate turbine. By squeezing two full stages of electricity generation out of a single fuel source, the plant produces way more power while consuming less fuel. It's just a beautiful loop of efficiency.
And the underlying physics here perfectly illustrate the two distinct thermodynamic cycles that are merged together to maximize all that energy extraction. On one side, you have the Brayton cycle, which is the gas turbine cycle, and on the other, you have the Rankine cycle, which is the steam turbine cycle. In a standard plant, you typically only get one of these, but in a combined cycle plant, these two distinct cycles are operating together in perfect harmony.
All right, let's break down stage one, the gas cycle.
The physical process kicks off when the air intake system draws in regular atmospheric air, carefully filtering out any dust or contaminants. Then this clean air is fed into a compressor where it's squeezed to incredibly high pressures. We're talking typically between 10 and 30 bar. This is essential because high-pressure air dramatically improves combustion efficiency. That pressurized air then mixes with fuel like natural gas or diesel inside the combustion chamber. When ignition happens, boom! It creates high-temperature, high-pressure gases, reaching anywhere from 1100 to 1500 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, that is literally hotter than volcanic lava.
Now those expanding, superheated gases need somewhere to go, right? So they blast directly through the gas turbine blades. This incredible force rotates the turbine shaft. And here's the cool part. This single rotating shaft is doing double duty. It drives the air compressor we just talked about, keeping the cycle going, and it spins our very first generator. That converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy, sending power straight to the grid. And that completes the first stage.
But wait, that brings us to a huge question. What happens to all that extremely hot exhaust gas that just rushed through the turbine? In an older, simpler plant, like a simple cycle gas turbine, this heat would just escape straight into the atmosphere. All that energy, just gone, poof. But the real magic of the combined cycle happens right here, because there is no way we're letting that heat go to waste.
Which brings us to stage 2, waste heat recovery.
So the absolute MVP making all of this possible is the heat recovery steam generator, or the HRSG for short. Think of the HRSG as the heart of a combined cycle plant. It acts as the bridge between our two cycles. Instead of a traditional boiler that just burns more fuel to boil water, the HRSG is a massive heat exchanger. It basically rescues those super hot exhaust gases from the gas turbine and uses that thermal energy to convert water into high-pressure steam. That high-pressure steam created by the HRSG then blasts into a steam turbine, expanding through the blades and rotating a second, entirely separate generator for even more electricity. Once the steam does its job, it enters the condenser, where cooling water turns it back into a liquid. Then, a cooling tower removes the heat from that circulating water, and finally, a feed water pump recycles the condensed water right back to the HRSG to be boiled all over again. The whole cycle just repeats continuously. Now, when engineers actually build these mechanical beasts, they usually choose between two main setups. The first is a single shaft design. This is where the gas turbine, the steam turbine, and one single generator all share the exact same shaft. It's super compact and means lower installation costs. The alternative is a multi-shaft setup. Here you actually have separate generators for the gas and steam turbines. This allows for independent operation, giving the plant way higher flexibility to respond to grid demands. Plus, it makes maintenance significantly easier. Comparing these numbers really highlights the impact of this dual-cycle technology. I mean, a traditional steam power plant hovers around 33 to 40% efficiency. A simple cycle gas turbine is slightly better, hitting maybe 35 to 42%. A diesel plant might hit 40 to 45%, but look at the combined cycle power plant at the bottom. We leap all the way up to 55 to 64%, with some advanced plants pushing even higher. By recovering that waste heat, the efficiency advantage is truly massive. Of course, every feat of engineering comes with a few trade-offs, right? On the plus side, combined cycle plants offer absolutely unmatched efficiency, lower operating costs, and reduced CO2 emissions. They also start up really fast, making them fantastic for grid support and peak load generation. But on the flip side, they require massive initial investments to build. Plus, they rely on complex control systems that demand highly skilled operators. And interestingly enough, their overall performance can actually drop when ambient temperatures outside get too high. And because these systems are so incredibly complex, keeping this dual-cycle plant running smoothly requires some seriously rigorous routine maintenance. Operators can't just flip a switch and walk away. Maintenance ranges from deep cleaning the compressor blades and inspecting the combustion chamber to high-tech diagnostics like vibration analysis and thermography. They also have to constantly monitor the HRSG tubes, clean the condenser, and maintain those cooling towers.
Which brings us to a really compelling final thought to leave you with. With efficiency this high, could combined cycle technology be the ultimate bridge to a fully renewable energy future? As we push toward greener grids, we are still going to need reliable, on-demand power. Understanding this ingenious method of maximizing every single drop of fuel while substantially lowering emissions compared to older thermal plants, well, it gives us a whole lot to think about as we transition our energy infrastructure over the coming decades.
A combined cycle power plant generates electricity in two stages. First, a gas turbine produces power. The dual cycle for extra electricity.